Good morning, my 4th grade students of أطفال الرمث النموذجي school. How are you? Hope you are fine. Today, inshallah, we are going to start with Unit 12. Unit 12. The title of our lesson for today is We Visited a Museum. The title is We Visited a Museum. Now, let me introduce the new vocabulary of the lesson for today. Let's start with the first word, tent. Tent. This is a tent. Goat's hair. Goat's hair. Baked. Bake is the base form of the verb. Baked is the past form of the verb, which means verb to. Bake, baked. Sew. Sewed. The base form of the verb is sew, and the past form of the verb is sewed. Sewed. Clothes. Clothes. And the last one is desert. This is a desert. Now let's talk about the pictures of the lesson. How many pictures do we have in the lesson? How many pictures? There are 4 pictures. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who can you see in the pictures? Who are the people of the lesson? Here we have Dad, Mom, Kareem, and Samira. Look at picture number 1. What are they doing? They are eating or they are having their lunch. Okay, what about picture number 2? What can you see in picture number 2? This is a tent. This is a tent. Tent, okay? What about picture number 3? There are 2 women. What are they doing? The first woman is baking. She is baking bread. And the second woman is sewing clothes. She's sewing clothes. And finally, picture number 4. What are they doing? They are talking to each other. Mom and Dad are drinking coffee. Now I'm going to read the lesson, then we are going to explain it and asking some questions about it. Let's start with the title. We visited a museum. We visited a museum. Samira, I was happy at school today. Kareem, we visited a museum. We learned about how people in Jordan lived in the past. Kareem, in the desert, people lived in tents. They used goat's hair for the tents. Kareem, the woman baked bread. They sewed. Their clothes were beautiful. Kareem, people prepared their coffee. They liked coffee. Mom, yes, I like coffee too. So that what is the main idea of the lesson? What is the main idea of the lesson? The main idea of our lesson for today is to know how people in Jordan lived in the past. To know how people in Jordan lived in the past. Let's start with picture number 1. Why was Samira happy? She said, I was happy at school today. Why was she happy? She was happy because they visited a museum. Because they visited a museum. What did they learn at the museum? What did they learn? They learned about how people in Jordan lived in the past. How people in Jordan lived in the past. So that Kareem and Samira visited a museum and they learned about how people in Jordan lived in the past. In the past, في الماضي. Picture number 2. In the desert, people lived in tents. They used goat's hair for the tents. So that where did people in Jordan live in the past? Where did the people of the desert live in the past? Did they live in houses? Did they live in flats? No, they lived in tents. Tents means khiyam. So that people of the desert in the past lived in tents. They lived in tents. What did they use to make the tents? What did they use to make the tents? They used the goat's hair. They used the goat's hair. So that, what did they use to make the tents? What did they use to make the tents? They used the goat's hair, which means شعر الماعز. They used the goat's hair for the tents. Now let us talk about the bread and the clothes. How did the people in the past get the bread? Did they buy the bread from the bakery or what? No. The woman baked the bread. They didn't buy it. The woman baked bread. Bake means يخبز. Bake means يخبز. So that the woman in the past baked their bread. And what about the clothes? Did they get their clothes from the market? Did they get the clothes from the market? No, they didn't. They sewed their clothes. They sewed their clothes. What about the coffee? What about coffee? Did they prepare their coffee? And did they like it? Yes, they did. People prepared their coffee in the past and they liked coffee. They prepared their coffee and they liked coffee. Does mom like coffee? Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Exercise number 4. Read, choose, and match. Exercise number 4, page 50. Look at the picture, يا رابع. What can you see in the picture? Could you describe it? In this picture, I can see camels. These are camels. Camels, okay? What is the place? What do we call this place? This is a desert. This is a desert, so that I can see 3 camels in the desert. I can see camels in the desert, okay? What do we call this type of text? Is it a paragraph? Is it a letter or a story? We call it a story. It is a story. Now, let's read the text, then we are going to explain it and asking some questions. Nader walked in the desert. He saw many camels there. The camels were very big with long legs and long necks. Nader liked watching the camels. He learned a lot about them. A camel is the sheep of the desert, he said. It can carry things for people. The camels helped Nader. Where did Nader walk? Where did Nader walk? Nader walked in the desert. In the desert. What did he see there? What did he see in the desert? He saw many camels there. So that the pronoun there refers to the desert. There refers to the desert. So that Nader walked in the desert and he saw many camels there. Could you describe the camels? Could you describe them? Yes. The camels were very big. They are very big with long legs and long necks. This is a leg and this is a neck. Leg means رجل. Neck means رقبة. So that the camels were very big with long legs and long necks. Did Nader like watching the camels? Yes, he did. He liked watching the camels. What did he say about the camel? He said, a camel is the sheep of the desert. A camel is the sheep of the desert, which means الجمل سفينة الصحراء. Why did he say that? Why? He described the camel as the sheep of the desert. Because the camel can carry things for people. He said that the camel is the sheep of the desert because it can carry things for people. Carry means يحمل. So that الجمل سفينة الصحراء because it can carry things for people and the camels helps Nader. Now, let us match the sentence with the correct one from the other column. Nader walked in the desert. Nader walked in the desert. Number 2. In the desert, he saw many camels. What did he like? He liked watching the camels. Nader learned. What did he learn? He learned a lot about camels. The camels helped him. Him refers to Nader. So that the camels helped him. Him refers to Nader. Thank you.